Hello, welcome to Angel's Workstation. Let's make something. Today I'm going to make a coil that I'm going to end up using in a crystal radio. Built this coil winder a while ago after I built my first crystal radio. Let's see if I can show you here. See this coil that I built? Got that out of a microwave transformer, wrapped it by hand on some pipe, hooked up some wires and an earphone, diode and a sweeper, and that little simple device, even without a capacitor, works. One end to antenna and the other end to the ground. Anyways, time to make a better one. So I built this little coil winder system so I could build a better coil. So I'm going to use some 28 AWG. This is a 200-foot roll. So in this is a 1-inch PVC pipe, and I put little holes in it at either end. I'm going to need some slack to come out later, so I want to make sure I push enough in. But let's get a bunch of it put in the hole. It's a little tricky sometimes. There we go. It sure makes winding coils easier, having a little device to spin them on. It wasn't too hard to make. Okay, so that should be enough in there. That'll eventually be coming out this end. Okay, now let's get our first couple of windings on. Be a little sloppy right now. Takes a little bit to get started, but once you get going, it's sure easier. Okay. Now you want to get it started as close to the hole as possible. There we go. Alright. Once you get started, keep your finger on the edge to keep the tension. And if you can actually feel the wire feeding around. Look at that. Now I just have to keep winding and winding. Try to motorize this, it just messes up making the coil. You want to do this by hand so that you got a feel for what's going on. Just keep your pressure down and towards the coil. I have no idea how many winds I'm doing, but if you really wanted to, you could count. I'm just going to cover this because I just need a nice, long, smooth coil. You can also use this to make Tesla coils too. So investing some time building a coil winder is kind of fun if you're going to play with a hobby of crystal radios and Tesla coils. And I might build a nice Tesla coil once. I tried once, but it just smoked. I couldn't keep, the magic was in, but I let the smoke out, so it didn't work. Fried the little sucker. Maybe I'll throw up a picture of it in the video here. You know, this is my very first video ever. I've never made one for YouTube. I thought, well, I enjoy watching these, so why don't I start making a few? If you like what I do, as the advertisement always comes in, say, you know, subscribe and like. There you go, I said it too. But it really does help, apparently. Yeah, this is working really good. Takes a while. smooth coil, not like that first one I made. Well, plus it helps use new wire too. For this second attempt at building a crystal radio, I'm going to actually put an air variable capacitor on it. I don't know, I might even make a germanium cat's whisker detector. That might be kind of fun. I got germanium diodes, but I might want to go old school. Hello. Yeah, I'm making a video here, my first one.
Do you want lunch?
I love lunching a little bit.
Let me know when you want lunch.
Okay, I'm going to finish making this. That was my wife. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have this much fun. Remember, if you let the pressure off, the coil won't work. So, in the comments, why don't you drop links to the other guys that you like watching. I like watching Fran Lab. She does some great work. The first video I ever watched of Fran Lab was the one on her LEDs way back. I'm just getting started with my electronics interests. Oh, shout out, Fran. Thank you for the inspiration. Oh, it gets a little tiring. Okay, so now I do have another hole over here. So I'm going to continue winding until I get to the hole, and then I'm going to stop. But I got to be really careful because maybe put some tape down or something. Wrap right up against the hole. 3 more spins. And maybe one more. Pull off some slack. Get my cutters out. There. Okay, now. Can't let go. You gotta feed this end into the hole. Curve the end of the wire a little bit, that helps. And just shove this one all the way in. Careful not to kink it. Not that it matters for the coil, but it gets harder to push through the hole. I need a little bit of slack. In the hole. Fat fingers. And careful patience. That's the thing with electronics, you need patience. and tight, nice and snug. And tuck it in. There you go. Now I'm just going to keep my thumb over that as I take my Oh, these stoppers, they're from winemaking. You can go to a winemaking store and get different stoppers with a hole in it. And there we go. Fish out this end. Fish out this end. Fish out this end. Oh, they got tangled together. There you go. Now what you'll want to do is paint this with some shellac would be best, but nail polish, that'll work too. Anyways, I'm going to go have some lunch, and I'll come back and make another video of painting this up. Alright, welcome to Angel's Workstation.